So I'm thinking about what theories do we have and what methods do we have? And I'm thinking about different beginnings. And there's a classical beginning here with Fricker's notion of epistemic violence and the meanings of testimonial injustice and hermeneutic injustice. And to start, if not everyone is aware of those things, I'm going to cite a colleague of mine, an autistic person I know, and she talks about her experiences of being in a party. And she says, "You don't learn anything," I said. "That's why it's boring." The neurotypical laughed loudly and said something like, "Do you think a party is some fucking school or what?" At that moment, I felt I lacked the language to express myself in a way that didn't sound ridiculous or comical. This is a kind of example of where you're also being object for a testimonial injustice and fairness related to trusting someone's words, and hermeneutic injustice, where an individual or group is unable to express their experiences due to lack of common language. This, of course, is about insider versus outsider perspectives on neurodivergence. So another beginning is the feminist beginning of one of my loves is Sarah Ahmed. She talks about citation policy. Citation is feminist memory. Citation is how we acknowledge our debt to those who came before, those who helped us find our way when the way was obscured, because we deviated from the path we were told to follow. And this is something I kind of find as I'm kind of finding my way through to think about how can I cite differently. Because as I started with my autism studies in 2008 or 2009, everyone was kind of citing the big names. And I think it's really important that we stop citing the big names. We need to find other big names. And one of those big names I'm citing a lot, it's Jan Lindberg. She talks about in her book from 2021, "This is my account, written under my name, and I'm not going to describe myself in someone else's terms. That is the very opposite of what I want to do." So how to do that? How to employ politics of citations, where we can create spaces for developing a terminology that better mirrors our embodied experiences. That is my kind of what I'm into right now, or I've been into for some while. And I try to think about this as an embodied theorizing. And I have to do this embodied theorizing first from my body, my own body. I try to find what feels good. I do a lot of yoga with Adrian, and she says, find what feels good. And sometimes that's really hard, but I try to work with that. And also cite you, Fergus, a lot. I talk about autistic-led theorizing as drawn at least in part from internal observations. That means I need to go with my body and try to theorize from what feels good. So not only what feels bad or problematic, but what feels good. Because I think that is part of the beginnings, is how to learn as we go. When I find things in my body I like, I start to perhaps name them. So I go also from being the soul, I only feel or experience what is happening in my body, and try to find collectives, try to make togetherness when there are different people coming together and talks about our experiences of our bodies. And this is coming from Jim Sinclair, from kind of trying to think about what is happening when we produce our togetherness, our autistic spaces or neurodivergent spaces, and try to theorize in those spaces. So I think it's very much about doing it together. And this is not easy. It's like I've been working in this field for a long time, and I still kind of don't know where to go and what theories we need. I just have to kind of develop them as we go. When I work in my collectives, we need to kind of develop the methodological paths and the theoretical paths as we go, and to be kind of fine with that I don't know, that I need to go in my feelings in my body and go from there, my kind of bottom-up theorizing from my body. So I think a first step is to unlearn what we thought we knew. There's a lot of knowing about autism or ADHD, which we really need to unlearn and to relearn something in order to know it anew. But I think as we go, we can also name the nameless. So when I feel something in body, I maybe not yet have a name for it. I may not yet have a theory of it. But together in those kind of collectives, I hope to evolve my understanding and name the nameless so it can be thought. That was my PowerPoint. I don't know what time it is, but I hope it was fine.